Which hybrid is best, the Callaway Epic Flash or the Ping G410? Let's find out, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, my name's James Robinson and on this channel I bring you guys golf related content every single day that helps you hopefully raise your game, lower that handicap, but generally just gets you enjoying golf loads more. Please make sure if you are new here, you do consider hitting that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the golf related content that I bring to you guys. And as always, if you do enjoy the content, it means a lot to me if you would leave a like and comment below. In today's video, I want you to comment below which hybrid would you prefer, the Ping G410 or the Callaway Epic Flash? In this video, I'm going to talk you through the differences in these clubs, I'm going to talk you through the similarities in these clubs, and I'm going to tell you which one I prefer and hopefully give you an idea of which one you'd want in your golf bag. And that is a great start. Now guys, I have done reviews on both these clubs, so if you do want to see a proper real in-depth review on either one of them, I will try and link them throughout the video. They might be somewhere around now in like a little whatever that was a good sound, wasn't it? And I guess the real first place to start with these clubs is the amount of technology that goes in them, especially for a hybrid. Both these clubs have adjustable loft. I'm playing them both at I'm playing them both at 18 degrees loft today. The G410 comes in standard at 19. The Epic Flash comes in standard at 18, but I've moved the G410 down to 18. But I've moved the G410 down to 18 by using the adjustable loft sleeve so that it is a fair test. It has to be said as well though, both these clubs are a 3-iron replacement, they are 3 hybrid, but the Epic Flash does have it by ½ an inch on shaft length. So you would think there that maybe the Epic Flash will produce a smidge more club head speed and then give you a little bit more distance, but then will that make it a little less forgiving and a little harder to control? Oh, good lord. Now as always in these comparisons, first points are always on the board before we even look at the club. Head covers. Now, both of them are good head covers, they're nice quality, they're both premium leather. But the G410 head cover is a boxing glove head cover, but it's not only a boxing glove head cover, it kind of goes up a little bit there. That looks like I'm wearing a really funny hat there, doesn't it? That just screams this shaft is going to get damaged. So, as we all know, I'm not a big fan of boxing glove head covers unless they have a story behind them, unless they're from a specific club, unless they're from... Why don't clubs just make them like this? How good is this head cover? This looks like pretty much a mini driver head cover. Well, not a mini driver head cover, but a mini driver head cover, if I can get that out correctly. We've got a nice long sock on it, we've got real premium leather, we've got lovely colours. What more could you want from a head cover? Okay, now that's the mega important bit over with. Let's get back to the golf clubs. Just going back to the shafts for a second, I have the Ping G410 in Ping Zone Alta CB70 shaft in stiff, and I have the Callaway Epic Flash in the Tensai AV 70 stiff, also a hybrid shaft. You see, to me it's a real interesting one how the Epic Flash comes in standard 1 degree stronger and ½ an inch longer, so that tells you really what Callaway are going for with this club. They're going for a little bit of distance gain, they're going for more distance from the fairway or off the tee or whatever you would use your hybrid for. Personally, I think both these clubs are designed for the mid-handicapper, for the guy who just wants to get the ball airborne. Remember, Callaway do have the Apex 19 range of hybrid, which I am currently using. I love that hybrid. It's shaped a bit more like an iron. It looks like the old Adams hybrids. I think I touched on that in the review if you've watched it. And then Ping have the crossover irons, which again is more of a kind of player's hybrid, long iron equivalent, I guess. Looks wise, both these clubs do have quite a lot of real estate on top. They are quite big heads for hybrids, but that is designed to knock the centre of gravity back to help get the ball up in the air and help mid-handicappers get the ball launching. I must say, although they are similar head shapes and similar head sizes, they couldn't look much more different on top. The Ping G410 has much more of a matte finish. We have those turbulators, which are well known now on the drivers and fairway woods. And we also have much more of a shiny finish. We have that carbon crown, which looks beautiful. And the Callaway opts for the much more old school Callaway V logo as the alignment aid, as opposed to what the G410 gives you with the turbulators. As well as the turbulators on top, the G410 gives you the miraging steel face, designed for more ball speed, both on off-centre and off-centre hits. And it's amazing how loud this thing sounds. If you take it out on the golf course, or especially if you bring it into a studio like this, it sounds completely different as to anything that I've hit this year, really. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not saying it sounds bad, I'm definitely not saying it sounds good, but it just sounds different. And I guess for a hybrid, for a fairway wood, for a driver, that's a good thing, because Ping are catering for a certain number of people. Ping are catering for their customers who like to hear that. I've got to say, on the performance of today, I could quite easily have either of these in my bag, no problem. Some of the golf swings I've put on these definitely do not deserve to be going the distances they're going, getting the height that they're getting, and just being that good. While we are talking tech, you'll see that both clubs do have weighting in the bottom of the sole. Both do have a hole for adjustments, but I don't think you can take them out. Obviously, you can't adjust them because they can't go anywhere. But maybe you can get different weights available. Say if you went for a fit-in, take out that, put a lighter one in, put a heavier one in. I would have to check a little bit more on that. That's gone a long way. You see, this is where this would potentially worry me. I've just hit that 247 yards. For me, that is getting into my 3-wood territory. 3 woods around 250 to 260, driver around 270 to 280. So I would hope that hybrids around 230 to 240 max. And you see, that's a really funny point when you're testing hybrids, because you don't necessarily want this to go a million miles. You don't want it to be like a driver where you get a 10, 15, 20 yard distance gain when you get a new one. Because that would be absolutely pointless. As well as the carbon crown, the Callaway Epic Flash Hybrid does feature jailbreak technology, which we've seen for a couple of years now in Callaway's woods, but now for the first time in a hybrid, we do get the flash face technology, artificial intelligence design technology, which is a computer, I'm led to believe, where the face basically looks like a piece of melted chocolate and has different depths for different misses on that face. Now, it has got to be said, one of the biggest differences I get in feel for these clubs is the grips that come on as standard. With the Epic Flash, you do get the Golf Pride aligned grip with this lovely little ridge down the back there. For me, that really works. That really helps you kind of feel where the club face is. A lot of clubs are putting these on as standard now, whereas with the G410, you do just get the standard Golf Pride Tour Velvet 360 grip. The reasoning for that is because with the OptiFit that the Callaway offers, you can keep that club face square to the grip at all times, no matter what setting you have it on, whereas with the Ping, when you start to move it round, the grip also moves around with it. So the aligned grip wouldn't really be much good for that. So guys, I think that is enough. I think I've bored you enough with the technology. I think I've hit enough shots to go and get an average and see exactly how these clubs perform. Looks wise, for me, I'm gonna have to say that the Callaway Epic Flash does take it primarily down to the finish on the top. I'm not a massive fan of matte finishes on golf clubs, and to me it just looks a little bit kind of Sports Direct on top. If you're from the UK, you'll know what I mean there. It just doesn't look as premium as the beautiful kind of carbon finish that you do get on the Epic Flash. Guys, let's take a look at the numbers. So guys, I hit 7 shots with each club there. And as you can see on top with the distance by a whole 3 yards, we have the G410. 239, but I must admit both these clubs have gone a hell of a long way for me there. I'm very impressed with the distance both of them have given me, but even with the longer shaft, the Epic Flash hasn't given me the same distance as the G410. Interestingly enough, club head speed was actually down on the Epic Flash, so that comes back to what I was saying when we did talk about the shaft length. Maybe I've just struggled to control that, struggled to kind of get the club to the ball as I would want. So I've got an increased club head speed with the G410, increased ball speed with the G410, and a slightly lower spin with the G410, giving me that extra couple of yards. All in all, you're really going to struggle to kind of pick differences in there. If I did this test again and I hit 7 with each, those numbers could probably flip over. But I do feel like I've had a good kind of test there. I've hit some really good shots. I've hit a couple of average shots with both, so I've got a nice even number. One thing I would say is that obviously the top number is the G410 and the bottom number is the Epic Flash. The Epic Flash has gone a bit higher for me, so obviously with a hybrid, you can see their height in feet. So with a hybrid, that is kind of what you're wanting. You're wanting it to land soft, you're wanting it to get up high. It's not that much, it's only kind of 8 feet, but it's still going a little bit higher. So I guess you've really got to ask there, which hybrid does win? Does the G410 win because it's gone 3 yards longer? Does it win because it had more ball speed, more club head speed, less spin? Or does the Epic Flash win because it's gone that little bit higher? It's got that extra little bit of spin and you're getting the control. Dispersion on these clubs were very, very similar. I've hit so many shots that have been exactly the same. I've actually hit some real nice kind of high fades, which is kind of making me feel about maybe testing one of these against the Apex that I have in my bag and maybe even sticking one of them in. Guys, hit those comments below. What would you be looking for? An extra couple of yards, extra little bit of height, landing softer? For me, to go with the looks, I'm going to go with the Callaway Epic Flash there because it's landed softer, because it's got that extra little bit of height. And for me, looking down at it, because I personally feel, remember this is a personal video, I'm not saying for 1 second that this is a different world away from this, because both of these, as you can see, have performed very well. Both of them have kind of surprised me with distance a little bit there. So please make sure you do hit those comments below and let me know what you think to these clubs. Are you in the market for a new hybrid? Does anybody here use a hybrid? Who doesn't use a hybrid now? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, or even if you're not new to the channel, even if you just really enjoy watching the content and you're not a subscriber, come on guys, help me out, hit that subscribe button. My goal for the year is to get to 100,000. I've been very vocal about that over the last few weeks. Hopefully we can do it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content, because I really enjoy bringing it to you. Don't leave a dislike if you weren't pleased with the results or with what I've said, because it's a personal opinion and I suppose we're all allowed them, aren't we? Guys, as always, I'll see you tomorrow.